Remember over the summer when I told you that there were rumblings of a Secretary of State Rex Tillerson resignation? That was true, apparently. And we now know more about the context and also about why it allegedly didn't happen. This is a fascinating leak, which, just to be totally upfront, is being 100% denied by Donald Trump at this point. According to NBC News, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was openly calling President Trump a moron after a July 20th meeting at the Pentagon, according to multiple senior Trump administration officials. Rex Tillerson reportedly called Trump a moron in front of members of the entire national security team, as well as cabinet members. Three senior officials said to NBC, imagine being a fly on the wall for that one, right? So he called Trump a moron. We were hearing rumblings of a resignation. Why didn't the resignation of Rex Tillerson happen? Apparently, Vice President Mike Pence talked him out of it. Pence is also denying that this report is true. The Boy Scout speech debacle played a role, according to this report. Tillerson was once a leader of the Boy Scouts of America. And apparently, when Donald Trump showed up and gave that bizarre, rambling, embarrassing political speech to the Boy Scouts, it was sort of a high point in the tensions between Tillerson and Trump. And exactly as always happens after these reports, the White House initially declines to comment, but then Trump goes out on Twitter and says the entire thing is fake. I have a hard time believing the denials. I have a really hard time believing the denials. And Rex Tillerson spoke this morning, and while he reaffirmed his commitment to the job, which means nothing, by the way, he did not deny having called Donald Trump a moron. And you'll remember that incident where Rex Tillerson was asked about the impact of Donald Trump's tweets or comments. And Tillerson said something along the lines of, "President speaks for himself." That is an indication that things are not going particularly well between the Secretary of State and the president. Are things going better now? It's unclear. Clearly, Tillerson didn't resign. Today, he said that he is committed to the job. But looking at Trump's recent tweets, there's every indication that there is still tension. I mean, just in the last couple of days, Donald Trump tweeted, in the midst of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson saying he thought he was making headway with North Korea, Trump tweeted, "I told Rex Tillerson, our wonderful Secretary of State, that he is wasting his time trying to negotiate with little rocket man. Save your energy, Rex. We'll do what has to be done." This might seem minor, but think about what it means. Tillerson said publicly that he was making headway with North Korea not long ago. Really important job for the Secretary of State, right? Try to de-escalate potentially nuclear-involved crises with an unfriendly nation. And Trump goes public and says, I told Rex not even to bother with this entire thing. Tillerson is a greedy oligarch with ties to Russia, but he's not a moron, right? And he's clearly aware of the utter disaster that is the Trump administration when it comes to foreign policy and international diplomacy, which directly impacts Tillerson as Secretary of State. Again, Tillerson says, "I reaffirm my commitment to the role." That's like when Trump says he has full confidence in someone and 2 days later they end up fired or forced to resign. So I've been saying the next to go is going to be Steven Mnuchin for the similar travel type stuff that Tom Price ultimately resigned over, or maybe Jared Kushner for the endless covering up of foreign contacts and private email addresses. Maybe Tillerson could be next, either by resignation or by firing. And if that were to happen, it's a major, major incident, right? Having a Secretary of State resign or be fired in the first 9 months of an administration is bad enough. Having your Secretary of State resign or be fired after a dozen, 20, 24 prominent people in your administration have already been fired or resigned, it's the exact type of embarrassing chaos that Russia would want to foment in the United States if they were actually involved in the 2016 election, which, of course, every indication is that they were. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month, and every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.